from our wild, crazy, fun, worldwide adventures. We wrapped up the year with our Rapid Results Retreat, our 15-day, 7-country journey to discover ourselves while discovering the world. And to everyone who joined us on that trip, thank you so much for making the decision to join us. And I know the memories, the experiences, and the places we went will be with you for a lifetime. I know there's a good percentage of you who are already looking forward to coming back next year and sharing those memories and experiences with even more friends and family and other people you want to invite back. If you haven't heard about our retreat, go to rapidresultsretreat.com and check it out. It's amazing. One of my favorite things we do every year. Right when we got back from that 7-country trip, we immediately packed up the RV and drove from Los Angeles all the way across the country to here in Tampa, Florida. And our kindnesslovescompany.com crew got together and we did a volunteer work all across the country. We stopped in 8 different cities and found a way to give back in each place along the way. And that was an incredible journey. For those of you who supported us online and donated to the journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Our promise to you is over the next few months, we're going to put together a kit on how to do what we've done so that you can do the same if you choose to this summer and hopefully earlier next year as well. Now, JRCtv is back on the air, and today we're going to be focused on health and fitness. And I know there's a ton of people. I've been watching online, watching your comments, watching your goals and New Year's resolutions, and it's everything between, lose some weight, become healthy, find the love of my life, all these amazing, wonderful things. And the ones that stood up to me are the ones that are people trying to transform their health and their energy. And in looking at that, I've always been curious, in my life, how did I transform my personal health and how have I helped other people do the same? And what I found was the #1 way to help someone stay consistent with their goals, their resolutions, and what they're working towards is to help them build a positive identity in who they are and link that up to the goals, link that up to the activities and the habits every day that get the results they're really after. Now, this is something we do automatically. If I were to ask you, what would you say your personal identity is in your current health and fitness? Now, some people might say an athlete, passionate, excited, determined, focused. Other people might say confused, frustrated, lost, don't know where to start. I remember for myself, I didn't really have an identity back in the day. Right around 15 years old, I loved basketball, and besides that, nothing else in the world really existed to me at that point. And if you asked me what my identity in health was, I probably would have said hungry, because I ate just about everything in sight at that stage of my life. And right around 16, 17 years old, I remember listening to something and it asked me about what is my identity in my health. And I remember sitting down and scratching my head and I didn't really know. So I took time and I took out a pen and paper and kind of like today's worksheet we're going to give you, I wrote out my personal identity of who I thought I needed to be in my health to really maximize my health and energy. And I started to live it. And I started to share it with the people around me and really, truly just start to act out those traits that I thought existed in the identity of an athlete, of who I wanted to be. And what was beautiful is as I started to live it more and more often and really show up and really use these pieces and traits of my identity, it's amazing how it not only affected my life. I went from 5'9", 225 pounds, barely able to run an 18-minute mile, to all of a sudden running marathons, losing all the weight, feeling super healthy, started to lift weights, get super strong, play a bunch of different sports. It was an amazing transformation personally. But the beautiful part was kind of the give it section where all of a sudden the ripple of what happened around me. I didn't have to go preach and tell people what I think they should be doing and what, how they need to cut this out and start using that and act this way and don't act that way. What happened naturally was the more I really stood up and just lived it in my life and really brought my health and energy identity to life, the more it rippled and affected my family and friends. Another moment that happened that's probably one of my favorites was we had a big family dinner with my mom's side of the family and we were all at the dinner and we went around the table ordering and it got to me and I ordered my salad with fish and something else, extra veggies and stuff like that. And it went around the table and finally got to my grandma. And everyone knows she normally always used to have just a little glass of wine with dinner, and that was a consistent thing she would do from time to time. And at this dinner, I remember I was so passionate and so excited about my health that it was starting to kind of vibrate into my family's decisions as well. And I remember I went around the table and it got to her and she ordered her salad and her fish or whatever else she got. And I remember, and the lady looked at her and said, do you want anything to drink? And she looked at me and looked at the lady and looked at the wine list and looked at me and looked at the lady and looked at the wine list and said, grape juice? And the whole table busted up laughing because they all know she always orders a glass of wine. And at that moment, because my identity was so consistent and so congruent and so passionate, I didn't have to say anything, but by my actions and who I was being in the world, it started to help them make healthier decisions as well. What's amazing is years later, she still chooses healthier decisions, and I'm pretty sure she hasn't had a glass of wine in some time now because she created a healthy identity for herself, and it's amazing how she's been able to transform herself and how she shows up in the world as well. Anyways, today is your turn to come up with your identity and your health and energy and really define who are you going to be, what traits, what attributes, what personality are you going to bring to the world to really magnify your health and energy this year, and how are you going to step into that identity so that not only you live it, but you also get to give it and pay it forward and really share it with those around you through showing up passionately, living it in your own life. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to download today's worksheet because it's going to walk you step by step on not only how to create the identity, but how to really step into it and own it and embody it in your day-to-day life. Have fun with this, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.